Looking for a counselor may feel like an overwhelming endeavor, especially for someone that is already dealing with a divorce, job loss, alcoholism, anxiety issues, depression, trauma, among other issues. Father CK Foundation have a team of competent and certified counselors who will journey with you through it and help you develop better coping and adjusting mechanisms that will go a long way and help you in other crises in future. Counseling services include spiritual guidance, marriage or couple counseling, drugs, substance abuse and addiction, grief and loss counseling, youth empowerment, career counseling, mentoring and coaching. For any questions or inquiries, call 0792 119 191, 0792 119 191. For the CK Foundation, under the stewardship of Reverend Father Charles Kinyua, is a charitable trust that has come out to empower communities and support all aspects of family life. Initiatives like counseling, student mentorship, and education program support have seen so many lives changed. We would like to invite you to be a part of this noble cause. Talk to us today on our SMS or call line 0758516111, 0758516111, or visit our website at fatherck.org. At Father CK Foundation, we empower communities by supporting all aspects of family life.
Are you looking for a systematic, bold, and affordable platform to advertise your business? Timeless Radio gives you, the member of Father CK Online Congregation, a special opportunity to grow your customer base through our various social media platforms and radio mentions. For more information, contact us through our number 0723 938 958 for the CK Foundation, all for the greater glory of God.
Welcome to Timeless Conversation, a Father CK Foundation program whose major focus is on family and the matters that affect the society at large. Our main goal is to offer support to all aspects of family, all for the greater glory of God. Our first episode has come about following the reaction video of Father CK on alcoholism, and hence so many people have requested to have an overview of the same and what alcoholism entails. In relation to this, the Foundation found it beneficial to give an insight on this issue, and our very own drugs and addiction counselor Samuel Mbolo, together with Don, our presenter at Timeless Media, will take you through. So stay tuned and enjoy.
Hello and how are you doing? Honest and massive shout out to everyone who's tuned in right about now to the baddest, smartest urban online radio station, Pona Wakanda Soil. I'm talking about Timeless Radio, your timeless companion. Kama unatusikiza pale kwenye Timeless Radio, that is through radio.timelessradio.co.ke. Big up to yourself. Na kama pia unatuwatch pale live, mimi nakwambia KE Timeless Radio, that is across all social media platforms. Kama unatustream sahi, massive shout out to you again and again and again. Anyway, They call me Don Kuchot, Big Don Dada aka the Junior Black Dada aka Skari ya warembo. And kama dao ukiniona, most definitely unajua pale ni mautamu yana come your way. And before that, I want to send a massive shout out to Talanta Institute manze, kwa sababu all this wouldn't have been possible kama si kwao kupartner na sisi. So massive shout out to watu wangu wa Talanta, na massive shout out kwa wewe mwenye unatusikiza na wewe mwenye unatuwatch right about now. Anyway, ukiniona unajuanga nakuanga na stories, ndio? So now, today's topic is something that is really, really dear to my heart. Today's conversation is something that has been triggered by a thought that has been there for a long while. And I want to send a massive shout out to Father CK, that is Father Charles Kinyua. Through pale kwenye online congregation yake ama channel yake pale kwenye Facebook, that is Father Kinyua's online congregation. Aliweza jana kureact kwenye video ambayo pale ilikuwa inatatanisha pale kwa sana. Ilikuwa video ya kijana ambaye alikuwa anajaribu pale kudishi pale ni kukula.com. Unajua kudishi pale ni kukula. So kuna kijana ambaye pale alikuwa ana try to eat, but the thing was he was not able to eat because alikuwa na shake pale kwa sana. And this brought about a good conversation. About conversation yenyewe ni about alcoholism and alcohol disorder. Yes, you've heard it right. Najua watu wanasemanga pale, oh, you only live once. Oh, Kenya ni sherehe nations, you drinking nation. But today we are going to look at the effects and basically alcoholism kivipi inaweza kufanya nini? Ikakuathiri pale kwenye maisha yako. And with me today is someone that is very, very special. Amejaa pale kwenye studio right about now. Na ako hapa so that you can be able to debunk this conversation. So joining me right now is most definitely Samuel pale. Na nitamwacha ajiintroduce kwa sana. Najua nimeintroduce pale nikasema anaitwa Samuel, but atafanya the rest. Ndio? Yes,
so
karibu.
Thank you very much for your invitation.
Yes.
I'm Buru Samuel. I come from Nakuru.
Yes.
I'm brought up in Nakuru, grew up in Nakuru. Then I came to Nairobi. And I have been into this life of businesses, jobs, issues, and to a point I reached, I had a problem with alcohol. And I could not be able to moderate or to stop using it. I tried to my level best, but I could not. And it brought a number of impacts in my life.
Impacts in your life.
Impacts in my life.
And the most beautiful thing that you need to understand is this. Personally, I take great interest in people's testimonies because I do believe that testimonies za watu zinaweza zikachange na zika-impact life ya mtu ambaye anasikiza kule nje. So it is very, very, very important that even you who's listening ama watching right now, kama uko na story yote unaweza taka kushare na sisi manze, tuweze tukajua maybe journey yako through alcoholism, ama tuweze tuka-understand kivipi imekuwa affect. Maybe you're the one who was affected by it directly or indirectly. Itakuwa ni kitu ya maana sana. And I want to send a massive shout out again to someone mwenye ako hapa kwenye studio right now, nikisema it takes a strong and a powerful person kujitokeza kule nje na kufanya nini? Kuweza kupeana story yake so that it can be able to impact other people's lives, not negatively, but positively. So big up to yourself, someone.
Thank you very much.
Tukiingia kwa hii conversation yetu ya alcohol, na najua ni conversation yenye watu wengi sasa hivi wanataka kusikiza vizuri sana. What do you mean when you say alcoholism ama alcohol disorder?
Yeah, alcoholism is a mental disorder. It's basically a disease. And it's a very complex illness in a point that an individual is now not able to moderate using of substances, may it alcohol, may it cigarette, may it marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and cat. You reach to a point now you become totally dependent on that substance, that you cannot be able to survive.
That you cannot be able to survive.
Yes.
So that is where we basically say that mtu ameweza imekuwa shida sasa kukunywa pombe kwa sababu watu kuna watu wenye kunyonga pombe ile kidogo kidogo, kuna wale wa occasions pale akienda sijui wapi anaguzaguza kidogo. So that doesn't make that person an alcoholic, but the moment it becomes that you cannot do anything without it, now it becomes a problem.
Becomes a problem. That's what we call it, alcohol use disorder or substance use disorder.
Substance use disorder.
Yeah.
And it is a chronic disease.
It's a chronic disease. It's a progressive illness, and at the same time, it's fatal.
It's fatal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So umetupatia story yako mzuri sana kutuambia pale kidogo pia ulijipata kwenye ile trap if I may call it trap, ama crisis pale ambayo ni kitu ambayo inatu affect kwa sana. And most people are not taking it into account. Si tunafikiria kukunywa ni sherehe, kukunywa ati ni starehe, kukunywa ni kufanya nini. But at the end of the day, like someone is saying, kuna consequences. Na hizi consequences zinaweza kuwa very serious and very dire. You understand? So a lot of people wanakunywa pombe huku nje sana. You got yourself into that. Unaweza sema cause ilikuwa gani? Maybe wewe kujipata pale kwenye ile alcoholism.
Yeah, the key thing that maybe made me use alcohol was just the curiosity part of it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to know and to understand, is it true that when you drink alcohol, you get better, you have a lot of excitement, you feel good about yourself, you can be able to interact, you can do many things. So due to that curiosity, and I had people, my friends by that time, my peers used to use it. And they used to have good discussions, good social networks. So myself, I said that let me try and see whether it can work for me. True. And I used it, and it really did that. I could be able to create many friends. I could also associate or interact or socialize with many groups of people by that time. And that peer influence is the thing that also sustained me to continuously use it. Because many of my friends were using it. And I wanted to fit in that group. I don't want to be there. Yeah, exactly.
Left out. Yeah. And like you said, alcohol inapatia watu pia venye umesema ulizo ka create marafiki. So kuna hii aspect yenye watu wanaangalia ma perspective yenye watu wako nayo. Ati alcohol inakusaidia pale ati unakuwa na confidence. Kama mtu alikuwa ameshindwa kupata, labda kuna msichana alikuwa ameona mahali amemfurahisha kidogo, mtu anakimbilia pale alcohol, kuchukua alcohol, anafikiria pale itamsaidia pale kuweza kuwa na ile confidence ya kutupa lugha kama vile watu wanasema pale. What in your interactions with people who are coming out of, wakisema pale hao wenyewe ni alcoholics, kwa interaction yako yenye umekuwa nao, kwa wale wenye umekuwa nao, what are some of the other causes yenye unaweza sema zinachangia mtu kuingilia pale pombe?
Okay, the minute youths I've worked with, even adults, aged people who have the problem, I've come to realize that apart from that curiosity and social pressure, the availability of the substances. Because you can maybe you can easily access the substance without even using money from friends, or maybe the environment, or maybe at home. So the availability of the substances play a key role in making someone alcoholic or addict.
True.
There are also this issue of boredom. Like someone is saying that I completed my high school, I completed my university, I completed my degree, but I don't have job to do. So most of the time I am just idle, I have nothing to do. So that boredom has also led many people to use substances or to try substances, so that is they can feel relieved from the stresses of life.
Yeah. Na tukiangalia kwa family, you've mentioned also family. Kuna history ya being brought up in a family where maybe the people who are oldest to you are using alcohol.
Yes.
So would you say that is also one of the causes ambayo inachangia pale ambapo unapata mtu amelelewa na watu wenye wanakunywa sana. Sasa yeye mwenyewe ana fit into those shoes kwa sababu anaona it is okay and it is fine.
Sure. That's also another factor.
Yeah.
Of which myself, I do view it differently.
Okay.
When someone is brought up in a family where alcohol is available, there are those children that may start using it because they are really seeing their role models using it. Yeah. And also, if they start using it, they have what you call the gene factor, that inheritance. So they are totally vulnerable to get addicted and mess up their life because of that gene inheritance or predispositions. But also there are those people that maybe grew up in the same family, but they really hate alcohol or substances because of the way they are seeing their role models getting in life.
True.
So to some point, they may not try to use it.
True.
So in the family setup, it can also bring the problem, or maybe it can make eradicate the issue.
Yeah. True. And that is something that is very, very important to note. The other thing that is important to note from what Samuel has said is alcohol ina prey kwa watu ambao wako vulnerability. You understand? So it is important that you get to know yourself first, understand your situations, and then please, and this I'm pledging to the youth. The thing is, I'm pledging to the youth, the thing is, in as much as unaweza jipata kwa situation gani ama gani, tafadhali, tunaweza tuka-avoid, si ndio? But we will get into that. But before that, kuna swali ambayo nilikuwa nataka kukuuliza. So,
Yes.
Tumetumia ipombe, imetupatia marafiki, imetupatia connections, imetupatia hizi vitu zote. But then tunasema hii kitu iko na effects. So what are these effects that outweigh hizi positive zenye tulisema ambazo ni kidogo sana kupatia friends, and of which you can do without even the alcohol itself? So what are these effects ambazo mtu ana experience pale katika alcoholism?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. Yeah, when someone starts using alcohol, maybe to experiment it, to test whether it is true, the beliefs that they are really molded with, that if you use marijuana, you can increase the capacity to think. You can be able to imagine and have become very creative. You can be able to pursue your career so much. So those beliefs, someone can be tempted to try that substances in the experimental stage. And when you get in that experimental stage, you try it and you find that it is getting you to what you are really expecting, then you can continue doing it. And that's why when you continue using it, that's when now you get back to the social usage. There are those people now who use substances like alcohol just to socialize. They use it on occasional basis, maybe on Christmas, on parties, at weekends, on nightclubs, and that kind of those there. So they use only to socialize. But if they are not in the social setup, they don't use substances. So those one doesn't have a problem of alcoholism, or they have not yet developed the alcohol use disorders. But if someone's socialized in that stage and find that maybe I can also be using it regularly, maybe every evening, every weekend, every end of month, then you get to another deeper stage of regular use, which now exceeds or maybe escalates to heavy using. Where now you find that you are not regularly now using alcohol, but now you are also using it every. Yeah. When you see that is a graduation from pre-contact to experimental, the tolerance is also building. That maybe I was getting high by 1 bottle of Tusker, or maybe 2. Then, or maybe someone is using 1 roll of marijuana or half of it and get the satisfaction. So at this stage, the problematic stage, this is where now someone now start feeling the impact, the consequences, the effects, the pain of using substances. And you know that now he has developed the tolerance. He's really needing a lot of substances to satisfy the highness. At the same time, he has developed the dependency. Physically, psychologically, emotionally, or socially, this person cannot be able to function. Until he uses substances, that's when he feels better. So issue of the school academics, someone drops the school or maybe doesn't complete the university. You have seen many students I worked with, they have stayed in the university for like 6 years, 8 years, 10 years. Why? It's because they could not be able to make up to their grades, or maybe they were not servicing for classes. So there are a number of things, like even the sleeping pattern, the eating patterns also changes. Now, how you used to eat now has now changed. You don't have the appetite to eat. You have some health problems. You lack sleep. And that's why you hear someone saying that if kama sijakunywa pombe, siwezi pata usingizi. Ama kama sijavuta sigara, sisikii kama nimekula chakula. Ama siwezi amka. So now there are those patterns of behaviors that now are becoming painful for him to maintain. Yes. And even some are also like dropping of job, or maybe you are fired from job, health issues. So this is a point that in the problematic stage, you find that many families are breaking because of family violence and gender-based violence. Because there's those behaviors that maybe this person has come up with that are not healthy in the family. And that's why we normally say that addiction is a family disease. For those people who live with the addict or the alcoholic are the people who suffer most, not the alcoholic or the addict. Yeah. So you find there's a lot of conflict, some violences, etc., even some divorce and separation. So even on issue of the finances, you find this person is not capable of maintaining a financial stance. He cannot be able to take care of his bills because most of his money is spent in using substances. So this is a problematic stage that many people now feel they need to be supported, feel they need to be helped. But the problem is they deny to say so.
Denial.
They have a lot of denial. They have that denial.
But of which it is a very, very interesting thing ambayo pale tuko tuiongelelea pale kwenye tukiangalia treatment. But before we get to that,
Yes.
Samuel.
Yes.
Tunatukanga hapa nje tunapatana na watu wanaenda reverse. Wanaenda mbele wanaenda reverse. Zimeshika hiyo design.
Sure.
Kuna watu wenye tunapatana nao wamelala pale kwenye mitaro.
True.
They are also human beings.
Sure.
They are also brothers, they are fathers, they are uncles, they are mothers.
True.
Unajua?
Yeah.
So kivipi una feel alcoholics pia society? Kwa sababu mimi na understand kuna point itafika hata society inaweza ikawatenga.
Sure.
So is it that we don't understand the problem ama how do you think the society should approach hao watu ambao wamepatikana pale na alcoholism? Ama ule mtu mwenye tunapatananga na yeye huko nje anatuimbia tu bla 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 na ameingia kwa mtaro. Society at first thinking yetu inafaa kukua gani towards that person so that we can help that person?
Yeah, society play a key role in enabling a behavior to escalate.
Yeah.
And at the same time, society plays a very key role in curbing the behavior. And when someone is addicted or maybe reached to a point he's getting anaenda mbele akirudi nyuma analala kwa mtaro, shouting and even anashindwa hata kwenda nyumbani, people normally look at it like a decision that person has made. And those people are look like hopeless people in the society, people who cannot be able to make to anything. But I like to tell people that if you see someone who has reached that point, it is good at least to love them, to get closer to them, and try to help them have the environment or the conducive environment to externalize the issues that this person is getting through in life. Because you may find that this person is unable to stop using because of some other underlying factors. Yeah. And until those underlying factors are addressed, the behavior will still continue. Yeah. And that's why maybe we like, maybe if you have a loved one who has that problem, it is good at least to hear from him, take him to a counseling center or maybe for a therapy so that that person can be assisted psychologically to know the problem where it is. So I think the society is really looking at it in a negative way, which myself, when I was in active addiction, I can also put myself in that point, that people used to see me as nothing. They used to speak bad things about myself. Like I have died, I have no life, I have no future. But the point I had someone who came to me and asked me, why are you doing these things? So I give him all the underlying matters that has been disturbing me since my childhood. And when those things were addressed, I have found stability. I have found hope. I have found a lot of opportunities and possibilities. So the society needs to love, to handle those people in a more better way, in a more healthier way. Understanding them is a problem. And above it all is the lack of the information. Because the society itself doesn't have the understanding or the awareness that addiction or alcoholism is a mental disease. When you look at the American Psychiatric Association, they group addiction or alcoholism as a mental disorder. That is like when you talk about mental disorder, we means like depression, like schizophrenia, like bipolar, like dementia, and many, many other diseases.
So it is that serious?
Yeah, it's a mental disorder. So that awareness that addiction is a mental disorder, that's what we are lacking in the society.
Yeah. And now I'm very scared. Like you put it in a way that I think people who are going to watch this are now going to understand the as in way tunakunywa mchana usiku katikati ya siku katikati ya usiku, as in do we understand what we are doing to ourselves? Do we understand what we are doing to yourselves? The thing is, if you have ears umeweza ukasikia. Unajua wanasemanga pale mwenye kuna masikio amesikia, mna mwenye macho amejionea pale. Now Samuel is telling us something that is so deep, and I can feel it from what you're saying, and I'd really love to understand maybe story yako uweze ukatupatia maybe, but then not now.
Yes.
But tunaweza tafuta kikao pale tukakaa chini tuweze tukaunderstand, because I feel you have a really interesting story ambayo inaweza teach watu wengi a lot. Sindio? Haya. Anyway, tukae rada na tukae careful manze. Historia ya kwenda mbele na kurudi nyuma na kulala kwa mitaro manze, tunaweza avoid. Speaking of which, Samuel.
Yes.
Mimi Don Kush, the big Don Redeke, the junior black Redeke, skari ya warembo jamaa mwenye jina refu kuliko trained. Nimepatikana pale mimi ni alcoholic.
Yes.
Samuel.
Yes.
What next? Nimekaa chini nikasema silali kwa mtaro tena.
Yes.
Nimekaa chini nikasema hii kujikojolea si maisha yangu, because that is what they do. Nimekaa chini nikasema kusumbua watu usiku si maisha yangu.
Yeah.
Samuel, nataka usaidizi. I'm an alcoholic. Yeah. What next?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That when someone finds himself that he cannot be able to manage or moderate the usage of that substances, yeah. Or maybe we say it that you are now powerless of that substances, your life has also become totally unmanageable, because all areas in your life you cannot be able to function that you used to function. That says that you have a problem, definitely. What we normally do is we invite those people to our counseling centers or sessions. We try to help them stabilize first. You need this someone who is physically, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, socially is not stable. Yeah. So first of all, if you can give that person a conducive environment, just reasoning to what he's speaking about, then you can be able to address the issues. For instance, if someone comes to a facility or maybe is here with us, we normally take them some screening assessment. We see how, to what extent this addiction or alcoholism is a problem. Yeah. What areas in their life is he unable to manage. So we address all those things. Then we can be able to schedule several sessions with them and support them, plus the family. The family is very key in this treatment of alcoholism, because we need some support from the family to make the person who is addicted or who is an alcoholic to stabilize. Yeah. The love, the commitment, the motivations, and a number of things. Or else, mostly when we get such a person, we may evaluate you and see that you may not be needing more sessions or counseling support than more of a medical support. So we see that maybe you can be sent to a medical facility, which call them maybe the rehabilitation centers, all kind of those types. Then you are supported to stabilize medically through detoxification. Then when you are stable psychological, then we can be able to sit down and have our psychotherapy and see on how we can address those underlying issues.
So the medication process, the treatment process of
yes,
it,
yes.
Nilikuja to understand there's therapy and then there's medication.
Yeah.
That can be used in order to basically kama ni kupunguza hiyo kunywa and whatnot. Tukongelea pale withdrawal. Now withdrawal ikanileta kwa story ya what we call relapsing.
Yes.
Relapse ni nini? Kwa sababu unataka unasikia mtu anasema ni relapse. Is it the same kama ku backslide pale ambapo maybe you decide something and then tena unarudi nyuma? What is a relapse? Kwa ule mtu mwenye ambaye understand.
Yeah, relapse in the treatment process of alcoholism or addiction. We have 3 stages that we get up an individual through. One is stabilizing. When you get stable, then we try to prepare you to take some several actions so that you can be able to sustain the changed lifestyle. Because we need to address all the areas of an individual's life holistically and support on how maybe he can be able to stabilize and actualize his lives. Maybe to change the lifestyle. It's a process indeed, and it's a very painful process. So when you stabilize, then we prepare you, we give you some of the relevant or remedies, actions that you need to put. Then you get into the maintenance stage. The maintenance stage, that's where we are now looking to prevent relapse. Addiction is characterized by cycles of relapse and remissions. What do I mean? That to some point, addiction is characterized by cycles of relapse and remission. So the word relapse comes from 2 words, re and lapse. There's a point that you may reach in life in recovery. Like me, I'm in recovery. There's some point I normally reach, I feel emotionally I'm not stable. Psychologically I'm not stable. Because of the stresses, the disappointment, and the frustration of life. I may tend maybe to think using substances. That is my thoughts and my emotions feeding into labs, which myself, I tell myself, family, that I change my lifestyle. I know the consequences I'm going through with addiction, so I don't want to get myself back to the same path. So, preventing this relapse is equipping an individual with skills and competencies to safeguard sobriety or to stay clean.
Sobriety.
Yeah.
Nimesikia jina kwa sana. Sobriety.
Sobriety
is when you become sober.
You become sober, you stay clean.
You stay clean.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So tunaongelea haya yote sana. Ndio. Tumeanza pale tukaangalia addiction, hiyo alcoholism ni nini, tumeangalia effects, tumeangalia factors zenye zinabidi. So my question would be, how would you know someone is becoming an alcoholic? Kuna signs and symptoms?
Yeah.
Signs and symptoms of alcoholism. So say topic imekuwa ingine.
Yeah, true. It's a very intensive and very complex topic.
I'm getting it now.
To sum it up, there's questions we call it self-assessment and reporting scale. That you need to give yourself, assess yourself, ask yourself several questions. One of it, to note that you have a problem and you need support. Or maybe you're developing addiction or dependency. One, you need to ask yourself, have you ever tried to cut using these substances, but you have not been able to do so? If you have tried once, twice, thrice, 4 times, and every the result is coming, you lose the game, then you have a problem with that. Also, you need to ask yourself, have you ever get annoyed when you hear discussions or comments made against your behaviors? If you get annoyed that people are saying you are drinking too much, you are really wasting yourself, you are wasting your finances, you are not taking responsibility of yourself, those comments, you become totally annoyed of it, then you have a problem. If maybe you have been shifting substances to another substances, like for instance alcohol, we have beer, we have wine, we have spirits, we have other alcohols. Now you may be telling yourself, I'll never be using spirits, let me use wine. But when you change and you switch those drinks, the result is just the same, insanity. Then you have a problem. Or maybe you have been unable to start a day without using a drug of your choice. Maybe you cannot be able to start your day without a sip, or a jam, or a sniff, or maybe a puff. If you cannot be able to start a day without that, then you have a problem. Or maybe you find that maybe you are guilty or shameful of your behaviors. At some point, you're just sitting down, you reflect on some of the things that is happening around you, in you, you are ashamed and have guilt in it, then you have a problem. And that is the most symptoms that maybe to say that you really have a problem. If maybe you are having, like the clip you're talking about, someone is moving back and forth, or maybe someone is trying to eat, but mikono inatetemeka sana. Yeah, I had literally myself to that point.
Wow.
Yeah, addiction is quite fatal, and it is a sure bet to death.
Example, I feel like we have another whole story that we need to be talking about, but anyway, we're trying to
yeah. When maybe you find that you cannot be able to handle things, that shaking, convulsions, tremors, and even some hallucinations. When you have not in your drug of choice, you cannot be able to sleep, you have those hallucinations or maybe delusions, then you have a problem. Now that alcoholism is bringing another condition of mental disorder. Yeah, those are some of the simple things that maybe you can highlight.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Signs and symptoms of alcoholism. We've gotten them right here. Timeless Radio, Timeless Companion. Most definitely we got you covered. Tukisonga before tukimalizia, that is tukirap up, because I feel we've had an amazing conversation. Na hii conversation ambao tunafaa kuistretch hata kule nje. It's a conversation that we most definitely need to have in our society. So we focus only on wants, we forget about the needs. And these are some of the things that we need to be talking about. As we wrap up somewhere, Tumeongea hizi shida zote tukasema kuko hivi na hivi. As Samuel, what would you tell us what is the way forward? What should we do? What can be done that hasn't been done? Ni nini watu wamelalia masikio pale ambayo watu hawafanye pale kwa sana?
Yes. One is avoidance.
Yeah.
People are really not wanting to hold discussion relating to substances. And the information also, there's also a very big gap in the information that people are not well psychoeducated on the effects, consequences, and the impact of these substances. Like maybe alcohol, they normally say, don't drink and drive, but you do not know why. So you can drink and walk, you know.
Don't drink and drive, drink and walk. Okay,
yeah. So the information, there's a big gap in the information. Yeah. Let people get psychoeducated or get aware what are some of the consequences of alcohol when you drink it or you use it. Or maybe what are some of the consequences of marijuana and cigarette and etc. So I feel what we need first of to do is to get to the grassroots and educate our people on what alcohol is before they get to interact it in the higher levels. Yeah. Because they get to it in the high schools, in the colleges and campuses. Before they reach there, we need to start it in the primary levels. Yeah. Letting that child, that family, as they get together to understand and to bring topics, educating their children on the impacts and some of the consequences of substances.
Consequences of substances.
Yes.
Bado mkiuzia na kwa imeandikwa it is harmful to your health. Unajua?
Yeah.
And I don't understand why Kenyans tunakuanga tu vichwa ngumu. Si ni vichwa ngumu tu natural. I don't know. Mtu alifanya ni understand. But anyway, Samuel, your journey seems to be very personal. And very personal to you and you're speaking it from the heart and I can feel it. Sure. What would you say is the takeaway that you took? The takeaway that you normally take from ukiangalia life story yako na mahali umefika sahi? What is that one thing, one great motivation enye inakufanya sahi hauwezi rudi kurelapse? What is that one motivation enye ilikupatia hii nguvu ya kuweza kukaa na kuweza kuinspire watu? Because what you're doing is something that is very tremendous, inspiring people and basically changing the lives of people, which is creating a positive impact pale kwenye society. So what are some of the things zenye zinakumotivate weka Samuel kuweza kupeana story yako na kupeana ile lesson yenye umelearn, na hiyo lesson yenyewe ni gani? If at all it makes sense. Mwambie kizungu mingi.
Yeah, there's somewhere we talked about the stages of addiction and or alcoholism, and I left at the problematic stage.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing that using alcohol is a problem.
It's a problem.
You are getting some impact. From that point, you normally fall into the addiction stage.
Yeah.
That is now you have to depend on using that substances. You reach to a point, we also call it the rock bottom. That is the rare stage in alcoholism. That rock bottom is a point that you cannot sink any further with using substances. And what are some of the remedies in that level? Either you die, either you become psychotic, or either you become, you add to the treatment centers, or maybe you are jailed. Because someone maybe who is using substances and he doesn't have money, you have to steal. You have to take someone else's asset, a phone or kind of that. So you may go to jail, you may go to treatment facilities, or you die, or maybe become psychotic. So what has been motivating me to continue in this journey of sobriety is remembering the impact I've gone through with that substance. Call it alcohol, call it cigarettes, call it cat. Remembering what I have lost in life, the family, the health, the career, and even my loved ones. Remembering all those things has been making me push through the recovery journey, despite being so hard. It's a very challenging journey, very, very challenging journey. But the motivations is what made you stop using it. What made you reach to a point of becoming hopeless and helpless or suicidal in life. If you can stick with that, then that can motivate you to continue making some changes in life. So what has been motivating me is the consequences that I have experienced, the impacts I have gone through with alcohol. Those are the things that is making me continuously becoming sober, staying clean, and above it all, inspiring other people. Because when I see an addict sleeping on the street, or like the one we were seeing on that clip, unable to eat, I see myself in him. And I feel from him, I have that empathy. And it can take me whichever the angle, whichever the ranks, whichever the parameters, to ensure that I support that person to a point he can be able to be stable, focused, and reliable in life.
True. And these are the kind of people that we are looking for, manzi. Watu ambao wanaweza create pale impact na kuweza empower the society, because a society that has been empowered is a society that will be successful pale nje. Unanipata? Yes. So someone, before nikuachilie uende, ningependa unifanyie tu favor moja.
Yes.
I think this is your camera.
Yes.
Ningependa tu angalie kamera. Waongelesha vijana kama mimi. Vijana kama mimi ambao tunajipata kule nje, and especially people who are in school right now, wenye wanajipata kule nje na unapata watu wameanza kuenda jail to drugs. Kuna wale wenye bado hawajakuwa addicts, but kuna wale wenye almost kuwa addicts, na kuna wale wenye washafika ile point yenye umesema kama pale rock bottom. So what would be your word for encouragement kwa ule mtu ambaye anatuwatch saa hii ama anatusikiza saa hii ambaye maybe ako kwa ile situation?
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe my words is that if you realize that you have a problem with your usage, if you realize that you have a problem with your drinking or your drugging, it is not too late. Don't shy off. Just courageously visit the counseling facilities like this for CK Foundation. And they are the people who can handle you, support you, and work with you. You know, there are many factors that we normally say that are contributive to someone's becoming an addict or alcoholic. But those factors are not important to discuss. What is more important is you coming up very courageous and saying that I have this problem. I have a problem with alcohol, I have a problem with cigarettes, I have a problem with that. Then you can be able to get assisted. I know to some point it is quite painful, and especially to our generation, like those people who are in the universities, you know that teen and your kuwa hyper, wanataka kuwa in that teen groups. Yeah. So they got into that traps because of just peer pressure. Don't continue dying and getting wasted in that. It is the right time, the right moment for you at least to stand and speak for yourself. We are here for you. We are here to support you.
Yeah. Umejisikia kutoka kwa Samuel Manzebe na kwambia it is most definitely an interesting conversation that doesn't end here hata kama tunamaliza usahi show, but it is a conversation that you can most definitely get to drive with your friends, your neighbor, your families, kila mtu kule nje. Na kama vile Samuel alisema manze, ukiona mtu yote mwenye ana struggle na alcoholism, tuache kuwachekelea. Let us stop making fun of situations ambazo zinahitaji our immediate attention. A lot of us tunaona mtu akirudi in reverse, tumekimbia pale kwenye social media, tushaanza create memes, tumejichekesha, but at the same time tunajichekesha kwa problem, and tusipokuwa wajanja ile problem itakuja kufanya nini? It will come to bite us back. So it is important that we understand that we need to show love, we need to show compassion, and we need to show understanding to these people so that most definitely we can be able to help them. And on that note, I am not going to leave you without giving you important information. Like Samuel has said, it is a journey. Na amekuambia pale kuna watu ambao wanaweza tembea na wewe kwa ile journey. So the thing is, hapa kwenye Father CK Foundation, we have a counseling center. A counseling center that is being run by specialists. Unanipata? So hapa tunadeal na nini? Tunaweza tukadeal na vitu kama vile drug and addiction therapy. Drug and addiction therapy, and of which it is something that we are talking about right now. Remember, we have specialists who have rehabilitation centers that are conducive for the healing journey of a victim or a patient pale, na ambapo pia itampatia spiritual aspects ambazo zitaweza kumgrow pale personally as a dignified human being. Let us bring back dignity kwa kina nani? Kwa wale watu kwenye society ambao wanaonekana hawana dignity, kama wale watu ambao tunachikilia ambao ni walevi pale kwenye society yetu. Kumbuka nilikwambia discussion ilitoka pale kwenye online channel ama pale kwenye Facebook channel ya Father Kenyo's online congregation. It is a video that I really want you to watch. Him reacting to a video that was very, very, very heartbreaking. Ambayo ilikuwa ni video ya kijana ambaye anajaribu kukula but hakuwa anaweza kukula. Kwa sababu ya nini? Kwa sababu ya zile effects za kufanya nini? Za kukuwa highly addicted to alcohol, ambapo alikuwa na shake pale kwa sana. And it is something that we can avoid. Taken from his videos, kuna quotes ambazo nataka kuambia hapa. One of the quotes is this: before we pray for these people who are suffering from alcoholism, first you need to talk to them. We need to talk to them. Then, Father akaendelea akasema pale, if you are one of them, talk to yourself, because they are very interesting people. Kuna mtu ambaye atakaa chini, hajue shida yake ni gani. So kama unajua hiyo ni shida yako already, why don't you talk to yourself first? Because prayers bila action hakuna kazi. You understand? So we need to be in a position where we can talk to ourselves and we can talk to people who are around us who are suffering from it, and most definitely bado pia tunaweza tukaaccompany pale na nini na maombi. And it is very easy if you are looking for help, manze, don't shy away. It takes character, and I personally respect people who come out and say that I have a problem in A, B, C, D and I'm looking for a solution. Big up to yourself if you're that person. Massive shout out to yourself if you're that person. We are looking for those people. Ukikuwa mahali popote, sema uwezo ukasaidika na uwezo ukakubali pale wakati ambapo uko na shida. A lot of us tuko pale in denial. Hatutaki kufanya nini? Hatutaki kukubali kuwa we are suffering, and it is something bad to suffer in silence. So to reach us is very, very easy. Pale kwenye social media, manzena komeni at KE Timeless Radio. That is across all social media platforms. You can get me at DON_KUTCHEEY. Na itakuwa very amazing. And you can also follow Father Kinywa's online congregation pale kwenye Facebook, so that such conversations hazitakuwa hata pale. Na kutupigia pale si pia si ngumu. Kama unataka counseling services, you can call into our offices. The number is 0792-119-191. Narana hapo chini, hapa chini, mahali hapa chini. Si ni mahali hapo. So 0792-119-191. Itakuwa pale amazing. To also book ni rahisi sana pale kwenye at timelesscounseling.co.ke, timelesscounseling.co.ke, na website yetu pale ni fatherck.org. Remember pia tuko na something amazing, manze. I tell you, here for the CK Foundation and Timeless Radio we do amazing things. Tuko na a mentorship program that we are planning to kick off, and we are calling for you parents kule nje, ama we youth man ambaye pale unaweza kuwa uko ndio umetoka pale high school, unataka kuingia pale university ama unataka kuingia pale college. There are a lot of issues in happen pale katikati, unajua kwa ile transition, and that's where even a lot of people get lost at. I also read somewhere that watu wengine wana indulge in alcoholism wanapoingia kwa institutions ambazo pale wanapata freedom, kama pale university na colleges. Kuna watu wenye wana indulge in alcoholism kwa sababu ya kuweza kufika ile point, na kwa sababu most of them do not have the proper guidance. So we are trying to create a way enye unaweza kuja hapa kwenye Father CK Foundation through our mentorship program, ambao tunatarget pale watu ambao maliza pale high school, uweze ukageta kujani na sisi na tuweze kujenga pale vizuri sana, so that hata ukiingia pale kwenye zile institutions, most definitely unaweza kuwa mtu ambaye ni mtu wa maana. Unasemanga a person of substance pale kabisa. Anyway, kama vile nilisema, to enroll pia kwa ile mentorship program yetu ni rahisi on 0792-119-191. It has been an amazing interaction, right? It has been an amazing discussion. I want to send a massive shout out to everyone who's still tuned in right about now. Yuko maeneo Maroroi, kama uko Roysambu, kama uko kunaitwa wapi, Embakasi, watu wangu wa UK, United Kisumu, massive shout out to y'all. I want to send massive shout out to my people in Saudi Arabia. Kuna watu ambao wanatusikiza wakiwa Saudi Arabia, kuna watu wenye wanatusikiza wakiwa maeneo ya Dubai. Massive shout out to all of you, watu wangu wa Stetopia siwasahau, and most definitely tunaifanya hivi na tunaifanya kubwa tena zaidi. Remember, this has been the baddest, smartest urban online radio station for Wakanda soil. I'm talking about Timeless Radio, your timeless companion. Kutupata ni very easy, radio.timelessradio.co.ke, na pale itakuwa ni moto kama posi ya makaa. Samuel, thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Tuweze tukaifanya tena. And by the way, I'm looking forward to that story. Mimi nataka kusikia ujani yako, because I believe it's something that is very impactful, na tutajaribu kuona venye tutaifanya. Anyway, adios. Kuna watu wenye before hata tuende, Samuel, hujatuambia tutakupata wapi?
Yeah, if you want to reach out to my services, to my everything, my support, you can just get to the CK Foundation.
Yeah.
I am the one in charge of the counseling department.
Yeah.
And I will support you, I'll help you, whichever the means. Just don't hesitate. Come, let us share, let us talk.
Hi, good people. I'm sure you are very well. I'm seeing a video here, and I know you can see it. This video is just somebody trying to eat, but the hands are very shaky, very, very shaky. Now, this is not a disability. You may laugh about this, but it is not funny at all. This is as a result of addiction. Dear good people, addiction is a disease. This person, by the look of things, at this level, he cannot do anything if he has not taken something to get him inebriated. We would want to laugh at him. We would want to see fun in this. But those of you who understand what it means, to have a fellow like this, you realize that all of us need to have to do something. Apart from prayers, let's talk to those people who have gone that path. Because this is somebody who, by the look of things, has even or is facing a possibility of a lessened or shortened lifespan. Addiction is a disease. Addiction is bad. Addiction is one of the surest way to early death and surest way to ill health. Apart from praying for those men and women, if we can, let's talk to them. Before we pray for them, we talk to them. If you're one of them and you're headed here, please remember that this is not the best way even to think of longevity of life. I want to say it again. Prayer alone on this will not be enough. We need to do something. And one of it is talking to them. If you're one of them, talk to yourself. Thank you.
As a married woman, praying for your husband is the greatest gift you can give to your marriage. From 1st June to 1st July 2022, the online congregation under the stewardship of Reverend Father CK will undertake a 31-day journey of prayer where married women will be praying for their husbands. This journey will be on all Father CK Foundation social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, the Foundation website, and Timeless Radio. To participate in this novena, please request for the booklet through WhatsApp number 0783 403375, 0783 403375. Father CK Foundation, all for the greater glory of God.
Why do you have to keep job hunting, attending several interviews just to earn a peanut? Why do you have to work for a boss when you can actually become a boss? Well, maybe you don't have the right information. Maybe you are not just aware that something big is going on around you. Maybe you don't even know that you are not destined to work for a boss. You can actually become a boss. So why do you have to keep yourself to
Looking for a counselor may feel like an overwhelming endeavor, especially for someone that is already dealing with a divorce, job loss, alcoholism, anxiety issues, depression, trauma, among other issues. Father CK Foundation have a team of competent and certified counselors who will journey with you through it and help you develop better coping and adjusting mechanisms that will go a long way and help you in other crises in future. Counseling services include spiritual guidance, marriage or couple counseling, drugs, substance abuse and addiction, grief and loss counseling, youth empowerment, career counseling, mentoring and coaching. For any questions or inquiries, call 0792 119 191, 0792 119 191.
Just like families, businesses too need a foundation. From incorporating new ideas to good investments, businesses get to thrive. Join Father CK every single Thursday as you put God in the center of it all. Pray, give thanksgiving, and get educated on new business trends. Remember, Thursdays from 7 to 9 p.m. only on Timeless Radio, your timeless companion.